Cabela's. It's like an adult theme park. You walk in and the first thing that hits you is this massive aquarium with game fish that you're always targeting, but when they're allowed to grow in these perfect conditions, well, they just become giant. And while you're hard-pressed to find anything of this size in our waters due to, southwestern Pennsylvania's very bad winters, it's still nice to look around. Cabela's is also a master at
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Open up the store. Come, walk this way. Take a look. Merchandising. Where the real money is made.
It's times like these where I'm glad I have a lot of willpower and I walked out with a $200 fishing rod. So we're going to keep the review section here short and sweet. What does $200 get you? Well, I bought a St. Croix Premier. It's the 7-foot model. And ultimately, it's lighter, very rigid materials, which increases sensitivity. Which means basically the fish could just look at this thing and I could feel their glare. The eyelets are very, very good, so the line just goes right through it. And it is sensitive. Anything I'm dragging through, whether it be weeds, rocks, sand, I could tell what my jig or any other type of bait or lure is feeling. And it's been pretty awesome. I can feel every little nibble. I can feel whenever the fish commits and know when to set the hook. And ultimately, the lighter weight makes casting over and over and over again very easy. I went with the Premier over the Mojo Bass only because I thought the craftsmanship was a little bit better in the cork work, and it was about an ounce lighter, which was ultimately the reason why I went with the St. Croix to begin with. This isn't to poo-poo lesser quality rods. A fishing rod is basically a fishing rod, but if you really want to invest in something that helps you out whenever you're casting, cast after cast, day after day, if you're doing a ton of fishing, honestly, I gotta say it's worth it. If you're a casual fisher, just going out every so often, you're not going to wear on those muscles enough for it to really make that much of a difference, and you're not going to spend enough time on the water to really, truly understand the benefits of this. So, don't let anyone with expensive fishing rods deter you from fishing. Your equipment is most certainly good enough, and I've yet to come across a fishing rod that was incapable of pulling in fish. So, the $30 rod will work just as good as this. This just ultimately makes my job a little bit easier. It's also worth mentioning that all St. Croix products have a lifetime warranty, so that's nice. I'm not a paid endorser for them, so these are just my honest opinions of the product, and it's a good product. This is a bait casting rod, so I paired it up with my Shimano SLX DC and hit the water. So let's get to fishing, but not before our tried and true credit scene.
Hey all, my name is Jake. I play the saxophone. I make music. I make videos. I love fishing. If you like what you see in here, please hit like and subscribe, and let's get on into it.
So, I left Cabela's right when the sun was starting to go down. I had about an hour of daylight left, and 79 was blocked with a lot of construction traffic. So I took the back roads to the nearest body of water, which happened to be Dutch Fork Lake.
They cleared out the right side of the peninsula. I'm watching them build that road for the past couple years. Now we have access to this end of it. Don't know if it's going to be a lucrative spot, but there's only one way to find out. Fish it. Got the SLX paired up with the St. Croix. It's a little bit lighter than that Field and Streams I've been carrying. That's kind of the thing I've been noticing with the Field and Streams. Anything outside of like a 4-pound bass, I really couldn't feel the nips of. So we'll see if this solves that problem. It's a mosquito fest. Tossing around a 3/8 inch legit dark sleeper. They had them half off at Cabela's. I'm like, well, twist my arm. That's good.
Things were unusually slow at the lake, and I tried every spot I could possibly think of. But bass weren't biting. Then I went to micro lures. Panfish weren't even biting. But I did find a tree and enacted this meme. A few days later, I went out to Cross Creek. It's a great bass lake. Surely I'll find something, right?
That's a nice little headwind. See how bad that is. Put the brakes on the floor first. Plant. Oh, there goes my stealth. Yeah, that went right into a real thick weed bed. There we go. No, still pulling from this end. Uh-huh. Someone else's line. So, let's get that. It's not that garbage out of there. You lost 20-pound braid. Explain to me, like I'm 5, how you lost 20-pound braid in this environment. Ugh. Amateur hour. Son of a gun, it's that blackfish that was floating back here a couple of years ago. Weird thing on his head. It's actually a black crappie, some type of bacterial infection. Hear that, Dad? Solve the mystery.
This is actually a reference to a 3-year-old video where I took my dad out to fish for panfish. And this happened about 6 months before he passed away, so this is kind of a special episode for me, well worth checking out again. He did catch the best fish of the day. And I immortalized him by keeping this reaction shot of him being shocked at me catching bluegill after bluegill. And here's a little snippet from that episode.
I actually got my line over that zombie fish. It's laying right there. See how he turned?
Yeah.
It was laying on him.
Why don't you get the mystery fish?
That would be cool.
That would be cool.
2,000 years later.
Oh, right. To say this was a slow day would be an understatement. I spent hours casting off of every possible angle I could think of off of that great fishing dock, and nothing. Once the sun started going down, I looked toward the cattails and the shallows of the lake and noticed that there was a lot more activity. Then it dawned on me. They're spawning, dummy. So I got as close as I could without getting into tick-infested grass. And man, when I finally found that fish, it was something special.
Combo. Got him. Oh, he buried himself. Come on. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Whew. Salvaged. Almost took me out, but okay. I approve of this combo. That little nipper did exactly what I needed to do to feel that hit.
The next day.
So I had my monthly gig at Spiel's Tavern, smack in the middle of Westmoreland County, and smack in the middle of 5 separate lakes. We've been to Loyal Hannah.
Oh, that was fun.
We've been to Twin Lakes.
But yeah, there you have that. That's not something I get to film every day.
We've been to Keystone Lake more times than I can count.
Designed for top water these days was an Abu Garcia map. I think the thunderstorm's going to miss us. I can wait.
But the last lake we haven't fished in this area is the Konama. So let's check it out. So my idea was to fish the lake itself above the dam. Of course, once I got down there, I realized that the parking lot to the lake had about a 200-foot drop off, and there was no way I was getting down there. Well, looks like we're going to fish the spillway area. Have I mentioned the abundance of rain we've been getting this year? Sure, that won't have an impact on anything.
That be flowing like crazy today. Jig. Yeah. Tossed it right into that tree. This ain't gonna work. And I ain't going out there to get it either. It literally tossed the jig above ground into that tree. So that goes to show, nah, it's not fishable. It is not fishable in the least.
Well, did I mention that the outflow park has this cool little retaining pond?
Children's fishing pond, catch and release. Yeah, sure, why not? Got one. Got him. Have a yellow jacket chase me all around, trying to avoid him. But found the only bass in this pond and caught him. Well, the skunk is off. There we go. In you go.
Well, I still had a few hours to kill, so I went back to Keystone Lake. On Mother's Day weekend, it was extremely overfished. So pressured and overfished that the fish here were just staring at every lure I threw into the water. They had no interest. They were probably all caught and released already earlier that day. But the gig went off without a hitch. I got this awesome mention on this signboard here, and Mike and I took the boat out the next day. So Mike and I left Buffalo Creek into the Allegheny River, and we went upstream to Lock 5, also known as Kelly Station. And the idea was we were going to travel upriver to the Kiski River. And fun fact about the Kiski River, it's actually an amalgamation of the Konama River after it meets the Loyalhanna Creek. So yeah, I guess this is all tied together.
The kid ski. We just call it the kid ski. That's the Armstrong Trail, part of the Appalachian Trail.
Mike's other rig here. This is a old Shimano, I'm trying to read it, Spool F4 Shimano 400S, but it's on a old St. Croix. Mike, is this one piece?
Why do you keep saying old? Yes. Wait, that one? No, that's a two-piecer.
Two-piecer, okay. So this is a St. Croix. It's a PS70 MH2. But to show you what they were doing back in, what do you figure, Mike? This was 90s?
That would be a rod from like smack dab in the middle of the 80s.
80s, okay.
Yep. That would have made a trip to Costa Rica.
Right on.
Is where I first really wanted to use that. It was my light bone fishing rod.
7-footer.
Bait fishing.
Nice piece though. Feels solid. Not too heavy.
Thank you.
It's very similar to my Rhino rod, but the big difference is between the two, you can feel the weight in the Rhino rod. This thing is still relatively feather light. Might actually be lighter than my GX2s.
Oh, great fish. I love them. I hope I get to see you catch one.
That's what I told him. I was like, there you go. You got a stage.
They were jumping out there just a little bit ago, too.
That's the story of my life.
I can't hear shit, so I might have to run down to you.
All I said was that's the story of my life.
I
I know. They're jumping on.
Free beer yesterday, and they were jumping right where you were.
Here, I think they caught 8 cats the other day off of there.
Oh, wow. Just using worms or?
They use stink bait, like chicken liver, all that kind of shit.
That'll do it.
Yeah. They just like to catch shit to cats. You know, I don't think they really care.
Whoa. Well, you got your wish.
We got one!
Oh, shit.
No kidding, this is good.
You need a net?
He felt big. Oh, got out. I think it was a catfish, though. He took me for a loop when I hit him.
That's all right, I wanted to see it. I'm telling you, they're jumping all the way over here.
Those channel cats will go after lures. No, that thing sunk. I'm like, uh-oh. Thought it was a snag at first, and I'd start pulling in a different direction. Like, oh.
I was hoping you'd bring it on up.
No, I saw your broadhead bouncing around.
Yeah, the weight of that, though, was suspect. Like, Mike, I might want that 20-pound braid after all.
Especially in the river.
I can tell you've been fishing for a while because you got your calves done. And
That was big, whatever it was.
you guys got a camp down here?
No, I live like in South Buffalo.
Oh, I see you fishing all the time down here.
Oh, okay.
I mean, haven't you been down here before?
I haven't been down here in a while, actually.
Oh, really? Okay, because
Yeah.
there's somebody else that kind of does the same thing. They just drift. And
That's
they
it.
Keep throwing.
Yeah, that too is the story of my life. Just drifting around. Go get him, too. Right across that heavy.
Got him.
Get him? Yeah. Walleye from back behind there.
No, it's a smallmouth. No, I got him.
Oh, yeah, right in the head.
Nice and concussed now.
Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
That'll settle his ass down. Hey, that's a nice one, dude. Oh, right in the moonlight and everything. You had a nice silhouette. Nice shooting tax.
Know where my ambush predators are.
Do you need pliers? Nope. You got some connected to your body.
One down.
They're always behind these bridge pillars and
You know what? I'm going to grab you like this to get that out because there's not enough room in there for my thumb. Poor timing, whoever that is. The legendary Allegheny bullies. Pretty nice one.
yeah.
Probably 2-pounder. So let's get him back in.
Slow motion bite. That's right. This fish just bit down on my thumb before finally letting loose and just drifting off. I told you they were bullies.
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man? Sorry, say that one more time.
Hi, Joe. I was catching a fish, Joe.
There's a good reason for that. No, but that was too good reason. Off the river, him and I are fishing all night long.
Oh, nice.
And he just caught a fish.
That's not special, though. I mean, he catches all the things. If I catch a fish, it's a miracle.
why he has a channel. That's why Jake likes that.
We still have that bridge right there. Oh, got him. Whoa, he's pulling back.
Nice. What a net.
That's a possibility. In fact, yeah. Yep. It's coming right there. There he is.
Easy.
Coming right up to you.
Horse him.
Nice little greeny meanie. Oop, missed him. Nice! Nice save! Woo!
There you go.
Popped out right when we got him in the net. That is amazing. Woo! Ah.
Wow, there's actual grass on my lure now. That's a good one, buddy. And we're in walleye territory.
Yeah. Come on.
Nice. Chunky one.
Chunk number 2. He's a little bit bigger, probably 2.5. Mike saved this one. He got the net right under him. He's a hell of a fighter too. Let's get him back in.
Dude, get the net. Look at the bigger fish. Sorry. I just didn't realize he was on there. Go ahead, put the rod down real quick. One more.
Flipping him. Is that a walleye? Yeah. 'Tis the season. It's a nice walleye. Mike is making me wish we had the live well going. That is good eating right there.
They're moving in.
They're moving in. Switching over from smallmouth to the night eaters. I'm surprised. We got these lights shining right there, so they're not as photosensitive as a lot of people assume.
And that was that. I really appreciated this combination. The St. Croix performed well, and we're taking this boat and that rod to Erie.
And then we go catch a bunch of walleyes. Then go to